UFO 50 was the best indie game to release last year. I guarantee it. Okay, well, one of the best. This game is perfect for everyone in that it isn't just one game, it's 50 of them. Don't be fooled though, this isn't your average minigame collection filled with a bunch of bootlegs you'll only spend 5 minutes on. This is genuine high quality stuff. Each game in this collection can be played for hours, and there will 100% be a game in here that's for you. This collection of iconic retro experiences is fantastic in so many ways, and was my personal 2024 Game of the Year. I'm Chepek, and you need to play UFO 50. Published by Mossmouth, who you may know from the Spelunky games, UFO 50 is the first departure from the series and shows that they're more than capable at tackling new genres. Like, seriously, they've tackled pretty much all of them. Every single game in this collection is completely unique. From the turn-based strategy Avianos to the roguelike Velgress, I can guarantee that something will captivate your interest. UFO 50 is incredibly inspired by old NES games, and it shows. I think the team did an incredible job of bringing this collection to life in a way that feels cohesive and like a logical evolution for retro games. While in many ways the collection modernizes what you may come to expect from these type of games, it doesn't dumb them down. UFO 50 is hard and uses the same design philosophy on difficulty that resonated throughout the 80s, so be warned and be wary. The games are ordered by release date from their in-world developer UFO Soft or LX Systems, meaning that you start off with the basics and the games get more and more complex as you go on. I think a common misconception people have when they first start playing is that every game on this list is like barbuta. That's not true. This game is mid as hell. Please, just try more of them. While it may make me a hypocrite, the idea that you tackle this collection in order is silly, and you should just play what appeals. This is a collection, not a checklist, and I don't want anyone missing out on Waldorf because they quit as soon as they had their first. It's quite hard to believe just how in-depth every single game in this collection is. Now, I'm not going to start listing off all the games because there really is a wonder in discovering everything on your own. But I will talk about a handful of them. I've chosen my favorite game from each row, or time period, in the collection. Think of this as a taster of what this game has to offer. A UFO 5, if you will. Starting with row 1. Now, while I personally really enjoy ninpek, not biased, I couldn't make this video without talking about Velgress. This game rules. While not the most expansive game in the collection, Velgress encapsulates everything that defines an 80s arcade classic while putting a roguelike spin on it. You've been thrown to the bottom of the depths of Velgress, and it's up to you to escape. The thing is, every platform crumbles under your weight, and you're being pursued by a giant spiked cylinder that prevents going downwards. This is an absolutely fantastic gameplay loop and creates an amazing sense of urgency based on how fast the player is moving. It may be tempting to try and rush your way to the top, but taking your time allows you to collect coins and gather keys. There's a shop between the floors where you can purchase upgrades such as faster bullets or more durable platforms, and what can I say, it's peak. The ultimate critique a game can receive, and the one I'll give Velgress, is that it's over too soon. The difficulty curve is steep, but dedicate yourself and you'll be able to escape back to back. I wish the collection had an authentic Velgress 2 or something, even an endless mode, but I suppose we'll have to wait until UFO 100. Mooncat. That is the name of the 13th game in this collection and my personal favorite for row 2. It was close between this one and Bushido Ball, or even Avianos, but Mooncat takes the cake for its incredibly weird and alien direction. This game is strange. I've seen strange before, but this is a whimsical kind of strange. Mooncat creates a fantastic atmosphere that just takes you into its world. Nothing is quite clear here, but after a while it just clicks. It's an almost meditative game where you just hop around and take it all in, then it's over. Mooncat isn't very long at all, but what it does do, it does perfectly. It's just a reminder that not all of these games have to be games. They can be experiences. The controls for this game are counterintuitive and take some time to get used to, but it honestly just adds to the strangely charming ambiance that Mooncat exudes. Just listen to the music. It's enchanting. I like how there's a hidden layer for those who put in more time, allowing you to warp between levels and take differing paths, but that it isn't overtuned. Oh, and fun fact, Mooncat is a remake of the UFO 50 devs' submission to the 2015 Ludum Dare 34 Game Jam, a game which would come out just 30 years later. It's not the only one that's like this. Devolition and Quibble Race are both based on games the devs had worked on previously, but it's cool to know. Row 3 is filled with absolute bangers, to be honest, but if I'm gonna be dishonest, my favorite totally wasn't Party House. Now, this is a tough choice for me because this row has Porgy and Rock on Island, but I just had to go with this one. Be thankful I didn't pick Onion Delivery. So, what's so special about Party House? This is a roguelike deck builder in disguise. I'm not quite sure what I thought getting into it, but it certainly wasn't this. Party House has the simple simple goal of throwing the ultimate party. For each scenario, you have to carefully expand your Rolodex with new contacts and create the perfect mix to maximize cash and popularity. Every time you answer the door, it's a complete toss-up as to who you'll see. So you need to hedge your bets and influence your luck to make sure you throw the best party while keeping trouble at a minimum. This game is super fun and really simple. It honestly reminds me a lot of Balatro and is incredibly intuitive. Give this one a go and you'll see why I adore it so much. Row 4. Row 4. Okay, I'm gonna cheat here and talk about another game for row 3, Porgy. I love Porgy. I'll keep this short, but as a marine biologist in Yellow Submarine Duo, you need to traverse the ocean and find out why the sea life has become so hostile. This is a Metroidvania, of course, and has incredibly satisfying progression. I love the balance between managing your fuel and wanting to explore just a little further. Maybe it's just me, whatever. I just had to get it out of my system. Play Porgy, please, it's good. Row 4. Of course, we've got none other than Overbold. Honestly, it was between this and Pasta Game Part 2, but I think Overbold takes the cake. Now, this is technically a sequel to Velgress, but mechanics-wise, it is completely unique. Sequels in this collection tend to depart from their previous styles. Mortal 2 plays like a Metroidvania, Campanella 3 is Star Fox, Overbold is an arena shooter, and damn, it's a good one. Overbold sees Space Pirate Alpha captured on the alien planet Fogon. I'm sure there's a D's Nuts joke in there somewhere, wherein you must survive 8 rounds of space combat. What that means, essentially, is that you'll have to shoot at flying whales or other creatures to earn cold hard cash. In between rounds, you can up the ante for a bigger payout at the cost of more enemies, and upgrades, of course, can be purchased during this time. Now, this gameplay loop is fairly simple, but it makes for a great time. Not only does staying alive in this arena take all you've got, but there's something enticing about pushing yourself for that extra drop in the prize pool. Much like Velgress, I'd love to see an endless mode to this game, though other than that, it's unlike its predecessor at all. Fantastic game, go play it. It's worth mentioning that each game in this collection has 3 levels of completion to them: gifts, trophies, and cherries. Gifts are obtained by making some progress in a game, but not necessarily completing it. Trophies are achieved when you reach the end credits, that is, when you beat a game, and cherries are the true marker of your grit, granted upon 100% completion or by incredible feats when not applicable. Gifts are given to your little piggy friend, and I think that's sweet. To make sure you give each game a fair shot, I recommend getting the gift on pretty much all of them. By the time you've got it, you'll have been sufficiently informed of its quality. And finally, for row 5, we have Minnie and Max. This platformer exploration game follows Minnie after she's been locked in the storage cabinet by her older sister. Sounds riveting, I know. Though, there's a reason this is my favorite one here. After realizing the ability to shrink down, Minnie and Max becomes a platforming adventure where you shift between normal, teeny, and tiny sizes to solve puzzles and find a way out. This game is so charming and incredibly polished. I love how you're able to cover vast distances simply by moving at regular size and shrinking down where you want to end up. And the added layer of microscopic size adds a whole new complexity to the game. It's almost a collectathon of sorts, requiring 50 stars to make your way out, though mechanically it feels more adjacent to the moons of Mario Odyssey. You can pick up items like in Super Mario Bros. 2 and upgrade your gear by doing side quests like literally any of these games. I like how it's technically set in the Party House universe and all the characters feel full of life and interesting. It's cool seeing how they make the mundane grandiose. What a game. Now that I've outlined some of my favorites, I think I've made it pretty clear why this game is amazing. Not to mention the fantastic visuals and enticing meta-narrative. I spoke about 5, technically 6 different games there. That's only 1/10 of what UFO 50 has to offer. Sure, they're not all amazing, Combatants exists, but pretty much all of them are. If you have yet to play this game, maybe give the ones I've mentioned a go first. If you're anything like me, I'm sure they'll captivate you too. Give it time and you'll be thinking about playing, completing, and collecting cherries for every game on this list. UFO 50 is just such a fantastic collection and is absolutely one of those rare indie experiences that seemingly catches lightning in a bottle. Make sure you give it a go. So with that said and done, I give UFO 50 a 1 out of 50. The onion delivery cherry shaved 4 years off my life. Subscribe to the channel, thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.